into a brand new wave, drowning out the noise that's tame. Liberty whispers through the brave, breaking free from every chain. Nullify the rules they crave, crypto beats that pave the way. Anarchy with minds that's safe, algorithms new dawn today. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride. Beyond control we take a stand, casting off the iron brand. Freedom flowing through our hands, revolution's our command. Decentralize the way we plan, all together we expand. Breaking shackles for the clan, in this journey we're unpanned. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride.
Hey, you're on mute.
I'm on mute. Why am I on mute? What? Did you mute me?
I did not mute you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's time to
Yeah,
restart the
welcome.
podcast. See y'all later.
Yeah. And we'll see you in a bit. We'll restart. So no,
We'll go on to Fire Bernstein.
restore me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me with a willing spirit. And I think that takes us to what the title of this podcast today is, which is Renewal and Rebirth, restoration for what really matters in life. And I think we can apply that in any facet of our life. You don't have to take this into a Christian sense of anything if you don't want to, but you can always understand that in anything and everything that we put our minds to, the creations that we create, the infrastructure that we place together, the structures that we try to emphasize on and build up, the walls that we build, not walls that trap us in, but the walls that are of structural sound, the technologies, anything, economies, even politics for that matter, and how we govern ourselves. We have to get back to a transcendence frame point. We have to learn how to restore and transform each other as communities, as individuals. What does it all mean? How do we do that?
Yeah. I think that definitely could benefit a lot of people to learn these sorts of things.
When you hear Psalm 51, verse 12, Andrew, that I just read, what does that tell you?
I mean,
restore me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me with a willing spirit. What does that mean to you?
you got to take the faith and do your best to, embrace it.
What faith? What faith?
Faith in,
What faith?
faith in God.
What? Wait, hold up. Faith in God. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Slow down, everybody. Did you just say faith in God?
Well, I
And
mean, you asked me what I thought it meant.
are you are you implying that you are going to be faithful and obedient?
Well, I believe in God. I've always told you that, Zach.
Do you? What is
Yeah,
God to you?
God is, an intelligent designer. Put it, in the most common sense understanding. He's a creator.
To you?
To me,
Yeah, to
uh,
you. To you. We all know that God is the intelligent designer, the creator, omniscient in his ways, the source of all, the source of life, the foundation of this universe, the dimensions, the complexities of everything. I mean, we all know, at least the majority of us should know. But what is God? What is God to you?
I mean, he's the ultimate power, the ultimate authority.
Does he grant you your free will?
I think he gives us the tools to seek them and achieve them, achieve free will. Yeah.
That sounds like the deist that I know and love. He gives us the tools to seek our own choices in the matter, and that is it. He walks away. He creates us, hands us some tools, and says, "Get on with it, you little MFers. Do whatever. I don't care. Make chaos or organize it into a structural realm of a better society or whatever."
Yeah.
I
I
think
guess you could
I
say
think
that.
I think God's more personal than that. I think he intervenes in any capacity so long as you ask. So he wants you to come into relationship with him. That's if he didn't, then he would not have sent his only begotten unmade son. Begotten unmade. He would not have sent his son in Christ Jesus, because I think it is through, and this isn't just I think, this is teaching as well, church teaching as well as scriptural. But um, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Those who seek the Father must go through him. So, in all essence, if we seek relationship with Christ, then we are inevitably attempting to reach for a relationship with the Father. And so that is where my theism trumps your deism in my perspective, because I adamantly believe that the Father wants us. If you go to the old good old book, the roadmap of salvation, God seeks. Look at Noah. Look at Adam, his first creation. Look at
Yeah.
Cain, the story of Cain and Abel. God seeks. He seeks out Cain and wondering, like he knows, obviously, just like he knows in the creation story in the fall, and like God knows what they have done, but God goes himself to ask Adam and Eve, man and woman, where are you? Well, of course, God knows where they're at. Of course, God knows what they did, but he wants to hear it from them. He seeks Cain when he knows what Cain has done. He murdered his brother Abel, but he wants to hear it from him. He seeks Noah in the flood and builds a covenant. It's covenantal. He seeks him in order to, I mean, to give him the capacity of 75 years, to give him the warning, to tell him, I'm going to do this. So just so you know, when I do this, I want to save as many as I can. Who is righteous? Who is obedient? Who is faithful? Who wants relationship with me? He seeks Abraham, and through his faithfulness and obedience, he leaves Ur in Chaldea and travels thousands of miles to make a way for Canaan. He seeks Jacob, the one who struggles, wrestles with him, and renames him Israel, which I just said, the one who struggles with God. Sound familiar there, Andrew?
I mean, I can see how you put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, what the state of Israel's doing makes sense. Israel's always struggling. They break it. I mean, the Israelites broke covenants. They struggled. They struggled to ascertain. God freed them. He seeked out Moses to free his peoples from the bondage of slavery in Egypt. And we can go so far, so far, and so far and so forth in the matter. So it's covenantal. It's relationship building. God reaches out. He reaches out to each and every one of us. In the new covenant, he reaches out to each and every one of us. And he wants us to be embraced within his church. Whether you believe it's an invisible or a visible, it's visible, people. It's the church is the visible idea of the invisible God. The bride of Christ, who is the visible image of our God, the incarnation. But enough of getting into some theological banter. How can we take Psalm 51, verse 12, from what I read, but Psalm 51, and apply it in today's day and age in a growing, expansive expression of creativity and technology and all this? Like, how can we go forth and apply Psalm 51 to the renewal and the rebirth of man through its advances?
I mean, I suppose we could look at the psychology of it surrounding it and try to discern the best way forward from that.
Like the way you think, man. Tell me about the psychology.
Well, I mean, I don't know specifically. I just, I had to actually sit down and look at it.
You brought up psychology. Come on, man.
I realize that, Jack. I realize that, Zach. I mean, I'm just, this isn't my wheelhouse. I'm not trained in this.
You've done enough research into psychology to
I'm talking about more religious things. I don't know the context, the history like you do.
All right. Religion. All right. What is, psychologically speaking, let's stay on the topic of religion. Psychologically speaking, where does it apply, psychologically speaking, of why over the millennia human beings have gradually and almost always communed together in certain belief structures, had to have certain systems apply in order to try to identify our purpose within life, Mr. Psychologist?
Well, I mean, religion is about, a collective effort, to maintain it. God's creation and his perspective. As a duty and service in that.
What duty of service? What's the duty of service?
The duties to God.
Yeah, but what about the service? What do you mean by service?
Well, I mean, the community, being there and available for one another.
You mean we should be there for one another? We should cooperate with one another? We should exchange freely with each other, ideas and all? We should work and love each other? We should love our neighbor? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say?
I never said we shouldn't.
Everybody, if you love your neighbor and you would like to do a service for a community and expand this thing, down there scrolling, become a sponsor and support the legacy right by clicking the link below. All there rolling by. If you'd like to support us, help us keep this, help us expand this, help us make things better, maybe try to bring on some cool guests that we have never had. we've had some guests if you go back into the archive, but bring on guests that we never had and want to have. So help us and become a sponsor. Do service upon one another. So as we give you the service of trying to ascertain the silver linings of life and what our purpose is. Was that smooth? Was that a good transition? Using that from you?
I believe so. Yes.
think we lost some people.
Almost like a Jim Cornette promo for Shopify.
Speaking of Jim Cornette, we should get Jim Cornette one of these days.
Right.
Take a break from the mundane and talk wrestling, man. What can wrestling teach us about life? Actually,
that it's a revolving door for some people. One crisis after another.
What do you wait? What do you mean it's a revolving door? I'll put.
Well, I mean, there's the people who run the show and are long timers, and then there's people who just constantly fall off the wagon.
Speaking of long timers, you think Vince McMahon's coming back to WWE?
I hear, rumors, and I think I could see it. Yeah, I believe he's going to try to buy it out from Saudi Arabia.
He's going to try to buy it out from Saudi Arabia?
Well, with the assistance of Saudi Arabia, I should say.
Oh, with the assistance, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So basically, TKO is probably going to bring him back, and then eventually that'll be the transition for them. Now that they've made the value a little bit higher, obviously a little too high with what they're forcing people to pay now. So perhaps Vince, with the help of Saudi Arabia in a deal, a partnership, ends up buying his baby back with the Saudi crown family.
Shit's got to change, pal.
Yeah, talk about renewal and restoration and rebirth, man. I don't know, man. How can that apply to this? What do you think of that? Is that renewal or is that just egotistical?
I think he realizes that they weren't ready to hold the reins, and he knew it, but they didn't want to acknowledge it.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you see what they've done with it after he left. They have all the people getting upset about the ticket prices, and he's gotten upset with them about putting advertisement on the ring and stuff like that, and just different stuff. They said Triple H isn't being a good booker. I mean,
that's fair. Yeah, I don't think Triple H was ever meant to be a booker. No. I think when you put him in the shoes to fill these bookends, I think he's terrible. I think if you keep him on a creative team and let him focus more entirely on creative, I think you have something there. I think he can be a very creative mind, considering the fact that he was a superstar at one point, so he kind of knows the insides of that. So like, I really do think when he is in charge of a creative, which at this point he's not, he's also the booker and the in charge of content. What's his official title? Chief Content Officer. So that's broad. That's a broad term. Like, what is the content? What does it mean to be Chief Content Officer? Well, that I think entails to many different variety. Like, that could mean your social media marketing. That could mean your booking for matches and storylines. That could mean in charge of the creative team with how those storylines are to develop. Who are your guests that you want to come onto the show? Also interlinking to larger brands to pull them in for sponsorships, or even do what he did with Netflix, with getting Raw on Netflix, renewing deals with NBC, bringing SmackDown over to USA from Fox, et cetera, which those are kind of good things. I mean, don't get me wrong. But then what are you doing to apply it? So in effect,
Yeah.
I think we're
And
actually staying on the topic of what our title of the show is. So go ahead.
well, I mean, another thing is that, he's distributing content over all these different platforms, and it gets extremely
Oh, yeah.
expensive for somebody who wants to watch, and be a consistent fan to actually be able to do something like that.
Yeah, you have I mean, you have all the slew. You have the NBC Universal deals, and you have the Netflix deal, you have the A&E deal with all the docs and all the programs they have on A&E. Um, they've overexpanded, and that is going to cause them to inflate their prices, on top of the fact that the dollar is garbage. But that is going to see a cycle of influx in the pricing, because they have to. You're selling all this, you have to pay for it somehow. So how do you do it? Well, you up tickets. You up tickets, you up merchandise. Oh, that's another thing. Merchandise in itself. I mean, so
Yeah. And what do you think about them going back to Las Vegas? Apparently, the sales have been down for that as well.
the sales is down for that, probably because WrestleMania was hot fucking garbage last year. And people got ripped off because they expected The Rock to be there, and The Rock didn't show. He wasn't there. So I think it's a redo. I literally think the reason they're going to Vegas, and the reason why they announced it so quickly after last year's show, is because it was a redo. I think they want to go to Vegas to try to redo it, try to see if they can like better themselves from their absolutely dreadful bots from last year's WrestleMania. That's my opinion. I don't know if that's the reality of it. I mean, most of it, obviously, the reality of it is money, obviously, marketing. It's Vegas, it's Las Vegas, so try to do another show in Vegas. But when it all comes down to it, in my perspective, I think it does come down to a redo.
Yeah. Well, I know that they're blacklisting anybody who wants to watch the pay-per-view in the Vegas area. They have to actually go to the event, and I think that's pushing a little far.
That's greedy. Yeah, that's a little greedy, man. That's actually greedy, and you got to be careful on that, because when all you care about is the dollar signs, then what do you have? You're nothing.
It's like the people who bought out the Newegg website, which is a computer supplier company out of California. They're from China, and they don't know the territory, and so they dropped the ball significantly, and they're really hemorrhaging money.
Speaking of hemorrhaging money, become a sponsor, everybody. It's scrolling there down at the bottom. Anyways, so what can we take from WWE right now and how they're leveraging their business? I think they've been leveraging their business for this exact moment. I think you're right. I think Vince McMahon is going to come back on board. TKO is going to bring him back, and it's effectively a leverage for them to try to sell it back. And Vince McMahon is going to come up with a deal like he initially wanted to try to do with the Saudis. And you're going to have a Saudi Arabian McMahon family partnership that buys out WWE, and we'll see where you go from there. I think it would probably actually benefit. I do think it would benefit. As much as we don't care about Saudi Arabia, the fact of the matter is, I think they're really avid like wrestling fans. So I think it might be a good thing, but I don't know. It probably isn't. I think WWE's kind of dead.
Wonder it's on wrestling tonight.
What is on wrestling that?
I don't know. Apparently, what do you think? What do you think about Shane O'Mac? You think he's going to be able to pull anything off with AEW?
Is he? Wait, hold up. Hold on. What?
Apparently, he's still trying to get involved with AEW. At least last I heard. This is a couple weeks ago.
You know what? That's a great story right there. You know why? Because remember the last time that he got involved in another organization? Obviously, it was post, and it was definitely part of the story. But that kind of makes me wonder if the McMahons aren't trying to move in on AEW as well and do what they did to another sister company way back in the day.
Well, I mean, I definitely think this is something that's been in the works for a while. If it's real,
if it is real, I honestly, like, in all realistic format, I think Shane has some issues with his father, like in reality, especially with everything that's come up. And I think a lot of and then I think he's pretty much with everything that's come up and the relationship factor between both Linda and Vince, and then business as well, way back in like 10 years. I honestly think this would be something that's more of an independent venture when it comes to Shane. So
yeah,
I think it looks like he's just trying to, if anything, he wants to try to get into something himself, to make something for himself and attach himself into AEW, so probably become a shareholder on the board, I would assume. So he'll have some say and he'll probably have some sort of option that he ends up taking over within AEW, and then he gets involved. Or it could be the gold star of Vince McMahon, making fans just wonder what the F.
right.
And then you see Vince. you see all of a sudden you see a AEW live taping on the jumbotron of a WWE Raw one night or whatever. They don't even run on a WWE NXT one night. Vince shows up at NXT since they run what is it? Their flagship show runs together with NXT, doesn't it? Let's say,
yeah.
I think goes head to head. You have Vince show up to NXT on like a Tuesday and announce something, and then Shane ends up on the jumbotron inside of an AEW arena.
That would be funny.
Oh,
history rhymes.
History does rhyme, man. History does rhyme. So, and speaking of history rhyming, when it comes to, I hate to jump into this, but when it comes to the politics of the day and the advancements that are there, but politics just always, because of that tribalism, not to say that certain tribalism can't be a good thing. In fact, it is a good thing when you actually treat tribalism correctly, which is family and community. But the tribalism of fake affiliations that politics creates, the divisions, and it seems we're so advanced technologically in today's world, but yet we can't get over the hump of certain facets because we've hindered ourselves, whether it be too much regulation, whether it be too much political upheaval, whether it be too much overextension of a global currency, whether it be just you name it, right? So the overextension of ourselves, and then the upheaval and the division that it creates. How do we rectify this notion? How do we reframe ourselves into an advancing future technologically to embrace and benefit humanity and our societies in this world? But I mean, how do we take a step and allow the adaptation of these new technologies so that we can emerge into a benefactor rather than it becoming a hindrance and yet another game of political upheaval.
Well, I mean, you can de-escalate violence in a political sense by, breaking up the power structure. And I mean, that sounds easier than it actually is. It's always easier sounding than it actually is. And the easiest way to do something like that is to recognize, everybody being on the same page is counterproductive to the long-term effects of our society. And in order to mitigate conflict and move
Flip
forward from
this.
here, be forward thinking, is by, diversifying our mechanism of communication, and that's the dollar.
You want to jump into it. So how do you diversify?
Well, value is subjective. That's what the Austrian theory is all about, right? Is that people
Mhm.
have to compromise certain positions in order to move forward with their life, even if they don't want to. And so they're going to have to barter. They're going to have to use gold and silver, bronze, whatever it is, Bitcoin, crypto, cigarettes, ramen noodles, milk, in order to
Sex.
fit the need. Sex, that does happen with people.
Sadly, it does.
In order to pay the bills, and the bill does come due, whether you like to acknowledge it or not. I mean, credit card is only so far. At some point you have to max it out, and then you have to start
I'm
paying
gonna
back interest.
clip this, by the way. But I'm going to bring something that is going to probably anger some people because they're going to look at this as a price fixing scheme. But what is your concept on the idea? This is pulling from Thomas Aquinas, who was, in my opinion, the purveyor of what Austrian economics actually does represent. I think there's some division there a little bit between Catholic social teaching and Austrian economics. I think that there needs to be some sort of kind of control when it comes to the community standard, so that we don't have we can't have unadulterated, like unfiltered, unbridled free market. We can still have a free market, but we do need to control it down to the community level. And I think one thing would be the concept of Aquinas's idea of just price. Now, remember, the school of economics was not really a thing back in the 14th century. But he has a point in presenting a just price scenario. You're effectively coming up with a standard of how to not price out people, not necessarily price fixing, because I think that's a bad thing when you're turning towards the 20th and 21st century logic. But what are your thoughts on how to utilize a Aquinas style just price idea combined with Mises and the Austrian school within economics and monetary theory?
Well, I mean, like I said before, subjective theory of value. Okay, right? So, a house divided against itself can't stand. So, somebody who's has an aversion to feeling corrupt is, not going to be on the same page as somebody who's comfortable with corruption, and the fact that they want to reverse engineer it in order to try to mitigate it. I know it sounds a little different and a little weird, but they are, on opposite sides of the playing field. And it's hard to come to consensus when you have such an alternative perspective, even if it's for the same goal.
Clip this. You like that? You like that? I'm going to get Andrew on the shorts. But Andrew, I'd like you to elaborate a little bit further, because you are the economic mind on this podcast.
I mean, I'm just a dilettante. I'm just someone who learned casually. But no, I mean, it's there's a it's a territory for subjective feelings and psychology, and a territory for objective feelings, or objective, uh, subjective and objective, and they're concentrated in different areas, and so they have different strengths and different weaknesses, and it's trying to work around and work with those different territories to better move forward, like I said before, uh, in life, in order to find some level of success. No one's 100% successful 100% of the time, and you have to take that into consideration when you're dealing with any particular project or idea or conflict.
On a Catholic social teaching aspect, and St. Thomas Aquinas, in his philosophical idea, this is a standard of understanding our chase for a common good, whether that's economically, whether that is spiritually, whether that is faithfully, whether that is earthly in our realm towards providing for our family and benefiting our community. We're all in some sort of pattern to try to formulate an aspect of good regimen. But how do we do that in today's day and age, where it's nothing but negative?
Well, let me kind of dive back into what I was just talking about. Say he takes the term, what's the worst that can happen? You can take that in two different ways. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to be great. Everything's going to be fine. Let's just keep going. Or absolutely the worst is going to happen. We have to be prepared for everything. If you go into the whole absolutely the worst is going to happen, you got to prepare for everything, you're going to have to be planning for everything. In order to plan for everything, you have to, have the ability to manage your environment. You can only manage so far until the tires on the wheel have burned out and the wheel pops. This is the same way as if nothing's wrong, you're gonna get to the point where, okay, if nothing's wrong, then the tire's gonna go forever. It's two sides to the same coin.
Explain that for the laity. What do you mean two sides of the same coin? We talking politically two sides of the same coin? It's all the same, but like
I'm talking about psychology. I'm psychology. Just, I mean, it's
we're talking on
heads and tails.
We're talking, yeah. So we're talking on a psychological level.
It's a problem, but they go in opposite directions, and you can't expect to be able to speak to an issue if they go in opposite directions, even if they come to the same conclusion.
How very Jungian of you on that one, actually, because I agree. I think two sides of the same coin. You have the ego, you have the super ego in confrontation with each other, and you're trying to fight between these two constructs within your subconscious with your id in the middle. So, I mean, I want you to elaborate a little bit more. And excuse me, Shauna is messaging on the Telegram.
Oh, it's okay.
Paging Dr. Buds in reality.
Hey,
he'll be back. He'll be back, everybody. But I don't know if Buds in reality will be back. But Sean Collins will be back, better than ever. Go on, Andrew.
Well, I mean, that's just an interpretation of fear, I think.
What is there to be fearful in this? Why be fearful of anything in this society? Why are people letting their anxieties control them?
Well, everyone has anxieties. I mean, I don't know so much about control. It's more about just concern.
He messaged for Christian metal. Wow. Yeah, it is. So it is about control, in my opinion. Go check out some Christian metal, everyone. But yeah, it's about us trying to control ourselves, control our egos, control our subconscious, control what we really cannot control. And I think it comes to the point that we need to finally realize that sometimes we can't control what is exterior or even what is interior. I think sometimes we have to go beyond ourselves. We have to eradicate that ego. Talk about an ego death. We have to eradicate the ego. And I'm a Catholic, so we're in the middle of Lent right now. And I think Lent, realistically, Lent, we should be growing an appreciation for all year, in my opinion. There should be certain sacrifices we make in order to atone spiritually so that we can divorce outside of ourselves and become more whole. Because I think when we go beyond ourselves and we start thinking more exclusive from us, we become a better person, and we actually can gravitate towards what our purpose is in life and how we can apply it to helping others while helping ourselves. We have to go beyond ourselves. And I think that's where the fear is. I think that's where you do have the conflict between the ego and the superego on the interior of the subconscious, and why the id is in conflict, trying to balance it all out, and freaking out, screaming into the void because the ego and the superego just won't shut the hell up, and stop fighting, because we're fearful in ascertaining what is our purpose. What is my purpose, Lord? What am I to do? And we get stuck in this recycled mind frame of somebody who is just lost. We're just lost, and we just keep on resetting and resetting and resetting. In reality, we should reset once. It's like the old the Ring of Fire on the Xbox, right? We were talking about Xbox before we came on air. Yeah, Red Ring of Death. Yeah. I mean, what do you do? What do you do for that? There are ways that doesn't always mean that it's done. It's toast. But you reset, and you get it to the point where the reset is all you need. You just need that one reset. Everything is recharged. We just need to figure that out as a human being. We need to figure that out societally, communally, individually, economically, spiritually. And we need to become obedient towards what we don't understand, in my opinion. I don't mean go become obedient to the government, everybody. I will say, render up on the Caesar what is Caesar's, for what is Caesar's is absolutely fake. And what is on that dollar but George Washington's face, or Benjamin Franklin on the 100, or Ulysses S. Grant on the 50, or Alexander Hamilton on the 10, or Thomas Jefferson on the 2, if you're lucky enough to have a 2, or Abraham Lincoln on the 5, or Andrew Jackson on the 20, right? These are all symbols. These are all symbols of your government. This is Caesar. It's all fake. It's all fake, gay, and retarded. Give it up. Give it up and render yourself to who you belong to, and you will be the happiest ever, because you don't live beyond your means trying to chase the Joneses, however the expression is. Who cares about the fucking Joneses? Excuse my language. Who cares? What matters is Zach Kaiser. What matters is Andrew Joseph. What matters is you and your family, your community, your needs. What matters is benefiting each other for the means that we can survive in, the provision that we can grant each other, the cooperation that we have for each other, the love that we have for each other. That's all that matters. You don't need that fancy Lamborghini that Mr. Jones has down the street. You know how many dicks that Mr. Jones probably had to suck in order to get the bonus that he had, in order to be able to invest, in order to be able to have the money to buy that Lamborghini? That's a lot of dicks he had to suck, dude. Metaphorically speaking, I hope he's not actually sucking dick, but basically, you got to sell yourself. You literally have to be a whore. Why be a whore to something that's material when all that matters is love and fellowship and family and community and God? I digress. Andrew, take it over.
Well, I was just gonna kind of follow up what I was talking about earlier. Like I said, two sides of the same coin. Uh, Something happens, and you're suffering, you're struggling. There's a more potential for you to lay the blame as a conspiracy, or as compared to the opposite side of the coin is that, oh, I'll just start all over, and then I'll start all over another project, and I'll start another project. Break things down, start all over new, and it's definitely an interesting dichotomy.
It is, and I think a lot of times the people also have the fear for starting over. They get the fear of they're a failure. But what we all need to remember is we all fail. Everybody fails. The most successful person failed 100 times more before they were successful. It takes failure to learn and discern so that you are a success next time. And I think that is another fear that people have, another anxiety that we all have. What we stress out is we're stressed over failing. Oh, I can't. Oh, I need to make this. I need to make this bill this month. I need to pay for my mortgage so my family has a place to live. I need. It's 20 degrees outside. We're gonna need the heat. I need to make sure that I pay the energy bill so we have the heat. And so these are all things that matter. But at the same time, you are focused so much on the now without ascertaining the realities of everything that you learn to forget that, hey, if you just surrender and it just acknowledge everything's going to be okay, just keep grinding on the positive. Don't fall into the past. Don't fall into the negative. There's more to life. Everything is going to be okay. Those who get stuck in the mind frame of being a failure will end up inevitably struggling forever because they just keep on falling back into their failure because they never go forward. And so now you're behind. By that point, you're behind 3 mortgage payments and you're facing eviction. And that's not good. But if you're behind only 1 mortgage payment, here's the thing: get a hold of your broker and work with them. That's the responsibility, right? You can set up a payment system to get back on track.
So duty and responsibility come hand in hand.
Yeah, and a lot of people get stuck into that negative talk that they just can't make it.
Yeah.
I do it. You do it. We all do it. Sometimes
We all
you
talk
just
bad
have to
about
let-
ourselves in private. Say, I'm not worth it, or I can't do it. But it's about being consistent, making efforts, even if you fail. At some point, you're going to turn things around.
Instead of talking bad about yourself in private, everybody, instead of literally talking bad about yourself, I want you tonight, all those that are watching, all those that watch or listen later on, I want you to hear this. I want you tonight, or after you watch this, whatever night, I want you to go into your room. I want you to shut the door. I want you to submerge yourself in complete darkness. And then I want you to talk to your Father who sees in secret. Just talk to him. Literally just have a conversation between you and your Father who sees you in secret, who goes heart to heart with you in secret, who will reward you in secret, and just talk. Let out all your sorrow. Let out all your grievances. Even if it is angry at God, he doesn't care. He wants you to let it all out. So shut the door, turn off all the lights, and talk to God. And when I said shut the door in your own room and stay and stay in silence and darkness and in private, I mean talk to God. No masturbating, okay? No fornicating. All right, Andrew.
I can't make any promises.
Oh, well, then you're a sinner. Now repent. You need to go to confession. See, he's already starting, dude, and we haven't even turned off the camera. If I hear a zip, I'm kicking you off the stream.
I can't guarantee anything.
What do you think about that, though?
I think we take ourselves very seriously on this podcast.
I think we do too, actually. I really do. I mean, and you don't, and on the Christian sense, I guess I want you to come to God. I really do. I want you to seek Christ. I want you to find fellowship in our Lord. But I can't force it upon you. All I can do is just give you the true word of God and to divinely the divine this inspiration that is within me, I want to give to you, and I want to evangelize what the gospel really is and to bring you to Christ so you know the truth. But I understand I'm not going to force you. You have to come to Christ yourself. But on a non-Christian point, what do I mean when I say silence, solace, and darkness? Sit in meditation, sit in contemplation, be mindful, mindfulness techniques of meditation. Breathe in with your nose and breathe out. Hold it for a moment and then breathe out and feel your breath. Feel your gut. Put your hands on your gut while you're doing it too. Feel it and just kind of reset. So that mindfulness technique, whether you're praying, contemplative, meditatively with God, or if you're utilizing some new age strategy of mindfulness, do whatever it is to kind of reset yourself and recharge. There you go.
Healthy.
I do want you to come to Christ, but I can't force it to you. I can only evangelize.
I understand. You're the man with a monologue.
So, anything else to say, Andrew?
I mean, just that God in himself is basically sacred energy.
Oh, buddy, a big cat.
I had to bring our cat in. Where's it go to?
See, take this for a moment, everybody.
Take it all in.
Take it all in. See this big
Meow.
this right here. Snap this, screenshot this right now. This is going to get us to 100,000 views right here. Just Duke.
Hey.
100,000 views, Duke. You better bring it. You better bring it. So
Here comes the pain.
everybody likes cats. Everybody wants cats, man. They want cat videos. Well, there you go. You got a cat. Like and share this. Share all this with your friends and family. Get us to 100,000 views because you know that they're just going to fast forward everything and get to the cat. Just tell them there's a cat in there. Be like, where are we at? We're at like the 54-minute mark.
Watch us on Catterday.
Yeah. Watch us on Catterday at the 53 to 54-minute mark. You'll get a cat. That's it. Then turn us off. Then like for Duke. Give Duke a like. Give Duke a like. So see how serious we get, and then we're not so serious.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of seriousness, but not so seriousness, I guess, become a sponsor, everybody. Support the legacy, right? So we can keep doing what we want to do. Try to expand this as best we can. The link is scrolling below. So become our sponsor and let us build a community. So if you would like. So we would love you to. But like and subscribe us over on YouTube, The Legacy Right. I think it's either The Legacy Right or Legacy Right. I don't remember, dude. But The Legacy Right over on YouTube. Like us, subscribe to us, leave a comment, ring that bell.
It's the Legacy
What is it?
Right.
Yeah, it's The Legacy Right. What's the at?
At the Legacy Right.
There you go. At The Legacy Right on YouTube. So, but yeah, so like share this all with anybody and everybody, and let us try to find some sort of inspiration in life. That's why we call this third season that we're on. Our first season literally lasted for what, Andrew, like 2.5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then last year was the weekly legacy. This year is about silver linings, finding every little sliver of silver linings, the positive and what is negative. And that's what we want to do. We know that there's a sliver of positive and all the negative. This world is being sandblasted with negative, whether it's your anxiety, your stress, whether it's fake money, whether it's war all over the place, whether it's riots and violence all over the place, whether it's Israel committing genocide or Iran killing their own citizens. It's all over. Like, the negative is all over. Let's find the positive that's nestled within all the negative that's being bombarded into our heads every day when we turn on the news, YouTube including, your podcast circuit. Like, everything is becoming like the alternative media is becoming the new legacy media. Ain't that some shit there, Andrew? Why is that?
Well, I mean, it's only possible for bread to stay, on a shelf so long before it starts to decay. That's called shelf life, and that's what the media is. The legacy media is at the end of its shelf life.
Yeah, but the alternative media is turning into the legacy media. So effectively, the legacy media has got its legacy continuing on full scale with this new social media apparatus of alternative, whatever that's supposed to mean.
Well, that's what
Alternative,
happens
that's
when an organization takes over another one, is that they keep it in play for a while, and then they start making changes. And people that were there, making the actual progress and making things successful, move on to new projects.
Google runs the world, everybody. So in order to combat Google, come on over to den.social. That's den.social, SOCIAL, den.social. Come join a social media revolution where algorithms don't matter. They don't. Literally, you matter, and everybody votes on a DAO. And you're rewarded or not rewarded. If you said something retarded, then you'll get a down vote and you'll lose some money, some tokens.
I can understand.
So come on over to den.social and join that social media revolution. And check out World Blockchain Roundtable every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Soon to be daylight savings time in a little less than a week, about a week and a half now. So weird. That's very fast. So
I'm looking forward to
join
it.
us. So join the World Blockchain Roundtable tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern in the morning on YouTube. Dragon Chain, Litecoin Lisa streams it when she's on. Satoshi Sean tries to stream it when he's on and not late. We stream it on the Legacy Right. It is also on X, and you can also catch it on Den Social, the YouTube page. You can also catch usually 2 p.m. There was one today. I'm not entirely sure what the schedule is going to be. I thought it was usually Thursday or Friday, but there's usually a Den DAO meeting that our Emperor, I Am holds. And he just goes over the nitty gritty of everything that's going on with Den, as well as Joe an hour before World Blockchain Roundtable. So, and all the updates. So other than that,
Super
Andrew,
happy dragon lucky.
Yeah, Super Happy Dragon Lucky. That's exactly what it's called. It comes on 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central on the Dragon Chain YouTube channel and X. So other than that, anything else you want to jump on board? You want to continue some more?
I'm looking forward to tomorrow's episode of World Blockchain Roundtable and seeing everybody there.
Yeah, what's the topic, by the way?
That I don't know off the top of my head. I had to go back and look.
Look it up. Look it up. We have a Telegram, dude. We can pull it up.
I'm doing that right now in just a second. Excuse me, princess. It's obviously not BitConnect, right?
Well, BitConnect.
Tomorrow's episode is going to be about systems that should use blockchain and not centralized databases.
That sounds like a Greg. Kind of. Sounds like a Greg. Could be a William, though. You know what? I think it was a William.
Probably.
Before you know it, he really is gonna be the emperor when he takes over. He's already taken over the World Blockchain Roundtable. He's gonna take over Joe soon enough. He will. He will. So, but other than that, I think we should just let everybody ride out and get out of everybody's hair.
All right. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching.
I don't know, man. Judging by the fact that it's
5 o'clock somewhere.
We're not doing your outro. I think for your sake, Andrew, we will we'll do something that you miss. Since there's no cursing in it as well. So I think you missed this one. So we talked a little bit about it anyways. So I think that's what the outro is going to be. So with that, everybody, have a good rest of your Wednesday, a good rest of your week, and God bless all of you. And like, share this as well as our podcast over on the podcast stream, The Legacy Right, and give us a follow there. So other than that, peace. And we love you all.
Thanks for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Gene Okerlund. I'd like to welcome you to WCW Nitro.
You know, brother, you think you know what it takes to beat Hollywood Hogan, who wants to climb in there and try out the largest arms in the world. Holy snap.
You want to wrestle an inch more Ric Flair, you gotta be able to walk that out and style and profile. Woo! You really think you're ready for the You really think you're ready for the Scorpion Deathlock? You think you're ready for a fatal encounter?
This is why they call me the total package. Do you have a pain threshold to withstand the butcher rack? Let's find out.
Hallo, hier ist Alex Wright. Wenn ihr High-Flying Wrestling Action wollt, Spinning Sidekick, Top Turnbuckle Dropkick, dann nehmt mich. Der Sieg ist euch sicher. Versprecht euch.
Oh yeah! Watch the flying elbow drop off the top rope. Not only beat people 1, 2, 3, but I hurt him real bad. It only takes one of 1,000 holds. I think you're man enough for the challenge.
You better be ready to wrestle, because you know, when you get in the ring with Eddie Guerrero, it's going to be high-flying and exciting.
Hey, anytime you feel froggy, man, I'll slap on the buzz killer and rip your shoulder right out of socket. Wolfpack style! Hey, funky boy. Like there's a choice here? Good God! Pick the man with the plan. Pick DDP.
Hey, all you suckers out there, you wanna play the game? You wanna play with the big boy? Put your feet on the button, cause when you go down 110th Street, it's gonna be on like neck bone, sucker. This is Booker T from Harlem Heat, hardcore OG brother from 110th Street. The minute you punks got the guts to step up to the plate, push the plate.
Yo,
Chico, you selected Scott Hall? You're ready for a wild ride on the outside. Hey there! How'd you like to get power bomb? Come on.
I blocked Andrew.
You think you got the courage to step in the ring? I think you're gonna wind up with a snap neck.
Jacob, wrestle God. Big Show, you don't scare me.
Technical wrestler, high flyer, brawler. Don't matter what you consider
He
yourself.
crossfaces twice.
You're in the ring with the crippler.
The monster.
You're a loser.